What's up, everybody? Hey, welcome back to a program design review. Trying to crank this out. Still have a traveling week, but it seemed like with all the souvenirs, it would be good to do some program design review. And what I mean by souvenirs is shout out to Jeremy for going and getting better, getting his team better, and then bringing us back something better because he found some exercises that work really well into the program. So today we will touch on some of those a little bit. And as a reminder, this is how this works. We try to put in the yellow highlights for giving you a purpose at each station. We put in an orange highlight because an orange highlight means maybe this is or isn't the exercise based on equipment, standard equipment in the facility, based on the people that you're training. So you know, we must force ourselves to think about those kind of things. When something's in red, you know, it might be a song that you play. Red in the yellow box might be a song that you play. So let's go through these exercises real quick. This is the dumbbell plyo box runner lunge step up. Your purpose at this station is to teach them to keep their torso upright and challenge that range of motion, right? How low can they get in their lunge? And as they step through, how high can they bring that knee up as they step onto that box, right? Engage in that core. The power band straight arm walkouts, challenge straight arms because the further away from the body, the more it activates the core, and challenge them to stay centered. You want to be that coach that's over there engaging, you know, making sure they're staying in the center of their chest and not letting that anchor point hold their arms. Okay. Now, as we get into the third one, there is a kettlebell rainbow swing. I highlighted this one because it is a challenging movement to learn. I found myself taking a few extra reps to learn it at the conference. And then two, if you're a smaller facility or if you have crowded sessions like we do in SARE, we have a small facility and sometimes crowded sessions. I'm believing that the best thing for us to do this week is to teach the alternative. We want to teach that hip to hip circular motion. And then in the weeks to come, or even this week, when we find certain people where we can come up and speak to them specifically, we can challenge them to get that greater range of motion. But I want to kind of get them into it because they're used to a swing, but they're not used to this type of a rainbow swing. So that's why it's highlighted in orange. So that's what we're going to be doing at our facility. And you figure out whether or not you think that the majority of your people are going to have an easy time learning that. It is highlighted in green just below it because I had to highlight orange above it because is the exercise. That's what the orange highlight is. There could be a change in your program based on equipment or the exercise and the people. All right, so the vert ball long jump slams. Hey, one thing for you to know is that a good measurement of power in the body is that you can jump the distance of your body. Many times during a long jump exercise, Cindy has laid down beside the person to see if they can jump from her head to her feet or vice versa, from her feet to her head. So you may want to, let them know that. People like to feel like they learned something from you. That's important. Little Van Halen jump song. Of course, they're jumping with a ball, so it's a little bit more challenging than it is when you're just doing a broad jump or a long jump. All right. The next orange highlight is it is in the program written out as the TRX inverted single arm. It's an explosive rowing motion. What we're going to do in this facility, because that's not the majority of our people that can do that, what we're going to do is the alternative. The option will be our main thing, which is a single arm squat to a row. And then we're going to come along and personally coach the people that we feel can get inverted and pull themselves all the way up, because that's awesome for them. But again, we don't want to make people feel like they can't do the main thing too often. So if the main thing isn't for the majority of your people, you may want to teach the option and then come along and personalize the progression. Okay, then optional station number 6, the body weight Heisman with a hop. You're just challenging the pace on that. Down below, we have some orange highlights because every facility, because we didn't build these facilities, right? We had to go and rent space. Is going to have a slightly different layout. So my orange highlights down here are pretty much just about the fact that we had to switch a couple exercises around to plan our layout. And I hope that you are thinking of these things in advance too, so that you can look well prepared on the day that you're delivering your program. So what we're doing here is we switch the rear foot split squat to a body weight rear foot split squat jumps. Okay, this is one, I think it may have originally had a dumbbell with it. Not needed for us, so because we already have another station that is our dumbbell station, and it's already challenging enough just to be squatting for most on a single leg and then turning it into a plyometric. So we just eliminated the dumbbell there. And then you have the next station that's highlighted in orange, the Superband overhead press, vert ball resisted leg lift, power band metabolic back. I hope that you all watch your videos, because you may have come along and gotten into a comfort zone where, oh yeah, I know what that is. But when we go to conference, we go there so we can put new things in our exercise library. That's one of the reasons we go. And you're going to want to watch this metabolic back one, right? Because it's a bit of a row series, including even a hip hinge driving straight back like a kickback. So you're going to have to make sure you watch that video. But when it comes to those, one other thing, when it comes to this exercise up above, I did have a little Yokozuna on there. All right. So I'll just take you here right now. Hopefully you're accessing, and if you're not accessing, if you have your own Apple iTunes, I can always share a playlist. But when I'm doing the sumo squat, fun like that. Of course, about jump when we were doing the and hopefully that's something that you can do to be entertaining and engaging and help your members remember what's going on. Then we have our TRX close grip pull-up body weight core pulses, a great exercise. And I can't wait to talk about how you have a purpose at that station. Dumbbell deadlift pulses to a reset. So, of course, with the TRX, you're monitoring that close grip. They're not used to the close grip, right? So the close grip is just going to have a different emphasis on muscles in the back. For checking the pulse position, here's what Dan John just taught us at conference, that one of the best things you can do for a healthy back is drive that back into the floor. What that actually requires is an anterior pelvic tilt, right? So you have to tilt your pelvis forward as you do in the crunch position. But you could come along just like what Dan John was teaching us and make sure that that person is leaving no space for your hand to slip under their lower back, right? That they're getting some good core pulses and that they're really driving that back into the floor, because that's going to make for healthier backs. And then the dumbbell deadlift pulses to reset. I just highlighted that in red because, you may not be able to take it all the way to the floor. Maybe they shouldn't take it all the way to the floor because they don't have that range of motion. So you can give a quick assessment in your group and say, hey, everybody, let's all reach for our toes. Okay, that's how far you should go down with this pulse, right? Pulse a few times and come up. Because if you can't go down there without weight, you shouldn't go down there with weight. You'll wind up compromising your spine and possibly hurting your back. Then this burpee builder relay, I think that there's two ways to do it. There is, of course, the relay. And our relays get crowded. We are the smallest facility, physical location, smallest square footage. So for us, it may be better for us to do 3 sets of 30 seconds in place. Now, 30 seconds works well for a sprint, works well for a seal jack. It doesn't work well for 5 squats, 5 squat thrusts, and 5 burpees. So we'll probably change them up to a 3-3-3, and we'll have people do these things in place. That's just our thought process on this, because burpees and squat thrusts in our tight little space and everybody in line, it gets a little awkward. And that is the timer for people this week, and that is quite a timer, meaning that it's going to take them a significant period of time to do that squat thrust, and then burpee, and then they're going to sprint down and back. And the person that's waiting, or the people that are waiting, are doing the seal jacks or active recovery. So for us, we just kind of divided it up. So that's just our methodology for that. And I hope that this helps you to think through your program design this week. Again, we're trying to do this so that it's just a shorter presentation, so then that way you can have time to watch these videos. I do suggest always changing up your warm-up a bit. So warm-up suggestions, I would just say, we just all came back from conference. Practice your warrior. Martin Rooney's got a great warrior warm-up. And if you weren't one of the people that were at conference, be one of those people that teaches somebody else what you learned. All right. Have a great day.